Okay, it is the second week in July, and we're going to look at the main garden now. We've had tomatoes come in, pick some of those. That I think was the biggest new thing there. So let's start around the outside. Tomatoes are getting really bushy and starting to throw out tons of fruit. Still, the only thing that's produced so far has been the 4th of July. You can see there's lots of fruit. Some of this right there is starting to turn. I believe that is the early girl. But that has been the first time I've seen the early girls just starting to go. The rest of the stuff is the 4th of July, and it's only been so far off of this, I believe it was this plant, that we pulled 2 tomatoes this week. So tiny, but they're good, even though they were, a little bit late on their name, but pretty close still. This pepper plant here has been having some issues because it's been, it hasn't caught up with kept up with the tomatoes growing, so it's kind of getting left behind. So once again, the wall of tomatoes here, getting a lot of nice fat ones, and so there we go. We can see a red one forming over there, hanging off on the inside, and that is once again the early girl. I'm sorry, the 4th of July, so the earliest one. Pardon me. So we did get a couple of those, and we'll get a couple more. Looks like this week, hopefully the early girl, the 4th of July, will start producing a lot more regular now. Got a couple more cucumbers harvested this week, and then there's a couple growing there still, so looking okay. The banana squashes the banana squash plant is continuing to grow, and the fruit that it's produced is continuing to swell. We'll have to look on the other side to see that mammoth beast there, but it's just continuing to grow really well. We harvested, I think, maybe 1 zucchini in here, so there's a couple more growing. There's one right down there, and one that's growing over there. So it's still continuing to produce. And yeah, the banana squash starts there, comes over here, goes all the way over here now, and producing several. You can see better now the giant, huge mungo squash along the back wall here. We can see our patty pan is the first. It has produced some stuff. Yeah, we went on a little short trip, and we came back, harvested a bunch of different things. Got a good sized patty pan off of here. There's a few little fruits forming now, but nothing much. Butternut's still continuing to grow, putting out some flowers. Hopefully we'll see some fruit start to form. Even though that's a winter squash, it won't really be ready for a long time, but hopefully we'll see the flowers turn into fruit, so we'll know that we're going to get some. The honeydew, still haven't seen any fruits get fertilized. Lots of flowers, but nothing yet. So I might have to come and work on doing that manually there, giving a little help. Here's some of the yellow crookneck starting to, we got one off of here, one of these plants this week. So it's doing okay. Acorn still has only produced 1. There's our 2 watermelons growing still on our 1 plant there. This butternut still hasn't produced. This is yellow crookneck. I think it produced 1 squash. It's still not growing as much as that one over there is. Probably because it has a little more, as you can see now, morning shade. So I'm not sure. Our other butternut is growing, flowering, but still hasn't produced any fruit. Our other watermelon, the one all the way in the corner, once again has produced flowers. See them right there, but no fruit as yet. So once again, we'll see how it goes. If necessary, we'll come in and do some manual help there. So this is the back wall. It's the early morning or later morning, whatever you want to say it, right now, so you can see that this is kind of the difference, is that that wall or that side gets sun, as soon as the sun pops over this fence here, this stuff will stay shaded until the sun climbs up over to high enough to let the sun hit here. So this is the last part to get sun, but it's just the morning sun, so I wouldn't think it made that much of a difference. But once again, you can see a huge difference between these two things. Anyhow, our zucchini plant over here is looking good. I think we got one off of it. There's nothing on it. I think there's one small one on it now. The pumpkin plant is doing well. Still no fruit forming or anything, but the vine's doing well, so we'll just keep watching that. And then tomatoes over here are starting to look really good. There are some here that are starting to turn. That's again the 4th of July, so we'll see those come up soon, hopefully. And then lots of big ones on here on our Roma, so that's fantastic. It'll be a while before they pop off, but at least they're forming some good fruits. And I think this is the 4th of July there that's starting to turn down in there. So that all looks good. Still nothing at all on our heirloom big rainbow. Haven't seen any fruit formation at all, so I don't know what the deal is with that one, but that's what it is. So for our boxes, with our east box here, onions are starting to get big. Some of the tops are starting to fall over, so we'll probably be harvesting some of those soon. You can see they're getting really thick, and you can see there where the onion is peeking up over the surface. So yeah, we'll probably be harvesting some of the reds, whites, and wild walls. We'll see how it goes. Potato plants are looking good. The Thai peppers kicking off a lot of little ones. I need to see how big they're going to get before we pick them. The carrots and the basil cilantro here doing great. This basil is looking, even though it was planted about 3 to 4 weeks later than the basil over against the side of the house, because it gets so much more sun out here, is just totally thriving. So the chard is kind of taken over, so I might need to cut some of that back to let the cilantro over here have a fighting chance, because it's dominating and hanging over there. The all the peppers here look good. We have had a lot of issues with a lot of these peppers that are forming. Have these, you can see it right there, ulcers are imperfections on them. So we've been cutting them off, cutting them up, and just eating them as green peppers. So I'm not sure. I need to look into that to see what something's going on there, if that's damage from a bug or something. But it's been quite popular, unfortunately. Soybeans are looking good. They, something's been chewing on them, but they're still growing, so can't much problem with that. This corn is looking just fantastic, even though it was planted 2 weeks later than the other corn. Than the first planting of corn in the other box up against the fence. This one is just taller and stronger and greener than it totally. So I don't know if it has to do with the variety of corn, or if it's the just the timing. The timing was better, or if this is the actual location of the box. So we'll see with this. Our last batch that's growing up is starting to come up and looking good. Unfortunately, this part, even though there was only a few weeks, it's totally dominating shading that one. So we'll have to actually worry about that. I didn't think that was going to be a problem, but this one's growing so rapidly and so incredibly. So other than that, the carrots and stuff are looking good. Haven't checked them yet, but they might be coming up. This red chard has just gotten pretty rangy and kicking off all this stuff. And now, last week, remember, it was spreading over there to that one. Now it's spreading over here. So I'm really going to have to cut some of this stuff out and figure out what to do with it, because it's just kind of taken over. This pepper plant is doing, banana pepper is doing great. Tons of little ones there. And yeah, very cool. The jalapenos, they're just tiny, but I don't know how big they're going to get. They're all forming these nice little ones, but they haven't really seen them grow that much over the weeks. So they're just tiny. So we'll see. Yeah, onions and all that. So looking pretty good here. And then our last box, the west one here, Got the chard there that's recovered pretty nicely. Really, if you remember, it looked like it was going to make it, but it did. Our okras have come back. We've actually got an okra off of each plant last week. I don't know if there's any new fruits on there right now. On this one, I think there's one on the other, but we did get a plant from, or a fruit from each one. Our peppers are looking good. All the different bell peppers looking great. This one's looking good too. I don't know why he's leaning over like this, but anyway, we do have some eggplants starting to form. Our Black Beauty is forming right down there at the bottom. Let's see that, the green, and you can barely see the purple. And then our Ichiban ones are forming some there as well. Down at the bottom once again, there we go. Banana peppers, all the peppers are looking great, producing, except for, like I said, some of these bell peppers are having those ulcers, but some of them aren't. This one looks totally great. So yeah, that's all looking good. We actually have, you can see the eggplant there. They're about 4 inches or so, so we'll let them get a little bigger and get them more banana peppers forming there. And see all the jalapenos, you can probably see them a little better here now. They're just that long, and that's as long as they've gotten. I don't know if they're going to grow any longer than that, but that's what they got there. And see, there's more of the issues with that, so I'm not sure what that is. We'll have to look into it. Our peas here growing, snow peas, even though it's 95 degrees out here. The Oregon snow pea still growing, so probably not as much as it would, but it's growing. It's producing some. Tastes good. So definitely have to plant them in the spring next year and get a really good harvest. But yeah, I'll take what I can get here. So they are producing a bunch more. They just started producing, I think, last week. It's the first one I saw any. So now there's several dozen on there. I need to pick some of those. The beans are looking good. Haven't seen any flowers, whatnot yet, but that is definitely cool with the snow peas. Our second planting of soybeans, some of them are coming up, some of them haven't yet come up. We'll have to see. There's once again those jalapenos, just tiny. So I did need to see if maybe we got a variety that doesn't get that big. If so, try to start harvesting them. There's one of our okra. Remember, this plant was really looking sad because it was attacked by the aphids for the longest time and didn't think it was going to make it, but it did, and we're happy. Even though we got 2 little okra plants, they'll still produce a few, and that'll be all good. So anyway, that is all the garden for this week, second week in July, and we'll just take a stroll in here to see the size of this banana pepper. Is fantastic. Or banana squash, sorry. These are the winter squash, and it's just huge. So anyway, it'll continue to dominate. I think we'd probably take over the entire garden if I let it. So anyway, that is garden for this week, and we'll see you next week.